For those who've been wondering where the motor has been, it's currently over at 666 Motorsports. We're gonna go check it out. Before he gets into it, he said he's about to probably tear it down later today, so let's go see it whole before it's in pieces. So here's the Fox's motor, just covered in oil. That was mainly because of the timing cover leak that I had right here, right up behind the alternator. So you can see where it got all over the alternator and all along down inside the pan. And then what I thought was a rear main leak actually ended up coming from the intake. We're actually seeing oil spill out of the intake runners and into the valley. There you can see how it was just getting coated in oil, then running out that hole down the back of the block and just getting covered on everything. But now we're actually gonna properly build it with some good pistons and some good cams. Let these Boss 302 heads breathe. But yep, super simple build, nothing crazy. Also, cheap way to run power steering fluid is just, if you're not going to be running AC, it's just a blowfish bracket that just mounts the power steering pump on this side, and all you got to do is do one small modification to the pump low pressure side. But other than that, it's not too bad. You can see more of just how it got all covered in oil. But yeah. Alright, headed over to my buddy's house. Go check out the motor. He just sent me a text saying if I wanted to take a look at it. And something tells me that it's not going to be good. So, alright, pulling up. Ooh, check that out.
Yeah. Bearings is good for the most part. They're all look, you look at the bottom ones.
Well, that's good. Actually, it looks really good.
Yeah. Piston rings are done.
Doesn't look like Arlen's.
Pistons just slid out of the fucking motor. Literally, I gave them a tap and they're like, boop.
So the rings on these are just toast.
Piston rings are done.
Damn.
Engine was running great though. You could see how it's burning on there. It was burning good.
That's good. Did my best to take care of it.
So if it was it run on gasoline first?
Yeah, it was.
So this is all from E85 eating away at it?
Yeah, I ran it on gasoline probably for a couple weeks. And then also when I did the 1,000-mile road trip, I ran it on 91.
Cylinder walls are pretty bad, but they're gonna be fine. They're gonna get 10 over anyway. You get 10 over, right?
Yeah, I got 10 over pistons.
So you can see the sides of them.
There's no cross hatching left.
No, and just marks now going up and down from your coating. And then this side's a little worse.
Ooh, that one's really bad. Damn.
So, all good. Block had a lot of corrosion in the water. Imagine it sat out or something. Like, did it sit out with no cover, without heads on it at some point?
Yeah, so when I first bought it, I bought it as just the short block. So it was sitting in the shop for a while. It looked clean for the most part is what I saw.
It's in good condition. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
You could see it because there was rust inside of there. Shit.
Oh, inside of here?
Yeah, your head gaskets. Like it's too much water and it mixed in with the coolant or something. Mm-hmm. The head gaskets, this side was really I can't remember, but I threw them in the trash. But one side was kind of bad. the gasket looked like. Just it was rusting and just didn't look very good.
Okay.
And imagine you just put them on there, so
Yeah.
you get your block surfaced. The heads have already been surfaced, I'm sure. So heads look fine, look great on the bottom. I mean,
That's good.
no signs of any oil really in your cylinders. But I mean, you're burning a little bit of that's carbon buildup, and then you can see how clean it was running on top of the 85. The rings, obviously, you see the cylinder, so rings are bad. That was probably your main problem. Rings, your rear main seal was fine, front seal was fine. All the leak was coming out of the timing cover, all of it.
Oh, out of the timing cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know why we could you explain like what could have possibly caused like the oil that we found in the valley?
Probably just floating around and then just circling around in here. And then when you took off your intake manifold, it just like flew in a little bit, flowed in.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you didn't have, there's no, I'm just taking a good look at it.
Yeah, the valley was definitely covered in oil too. But yeah, there's the first look, or the second look at the motor, now completely torn apart. Last you saw it, it was complete. There's Coke. What's up, Coke? Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes from here on.
Yeah, the intake manifold.
Alright, well, looks like everything was in a lot better shape than we thought. Heads are perfect. These are real Boss 302 CNC ported cylinder heads.
It's pretty neat.
Fucking seatbelt. But alrighty, so the engine looked fantastic, other than the rings, which we kind of already had a sneaking suspicion that was going to be our issue. So what I'm actually going to end up doing is we're actually going to go with brand new pistons, and at the same time I'm just going to go ahead and just toss some Boss 302 rods in it, which are the same as Gen 2 rods, because my motor is a Gen 1. So the difference between the Gen 1 and Gen 2 and the Boss motor is that the rods are forged. So they're a little bit stronger. They can hold closer to 1,000 horsepower. The Gen 1s are probably like, once you start pushing about 700 wheel, it's time to either rebuild the bottom end or hope, or just wait and see for a rod to just shoot out the block. So we're just gonna upgrade the rods while we're in there, and the pistons. We're gonna go with a little bit higher compression, just make it a nice NA build that I can still boost in the future, and maybe toss some other goodies at it. Just make it a nice, healthy, strong running motor. So we'll see how everything goes once it comes back from the machine shop, after it gets poured over, 10 over, and cleaned up. The heads, on the other hand, were spotless also, which they should be, because those are also Boss 302 heads. So those are CNC ported from the factory. So those are going to help us a ton with making a little bit more power than a regular Gen 1. So that will just be the icing on the cake to make this a fully built motor. So in the future we shouldn't have any more issues. And even though we already kind of knew that this issue, or I at least knew that this issue was going to come up one day since day one, when the motor first turned over and we pretty much saw that it had like 0 compression in a couple cylinders. But it kind of cleared up, it kind of fixed itself, and I knew that one day it was just going to have to come out and get fully built, because the bottom end is still a stock bottom end that had God knows how many miles on it and just sat at the back of a shop just bare for 2-3 years. So can't complain. So that's where we're at with the motor. It's gonna go over to total performance tomorrow, get dropped off, and after that we'll see how it comes back, and once it gets built, show you some more. All right, take it easy. Later.